Hello, and welcome to another look with Christian King. I'm very excited to be here to do my UFC 235 preview show. I have a abnormal amount of undecided picks right now, so this should be a fun show to do. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town for this fight card, which makes me absolutely miserable. I'm going to have no way to watch this live. I'll try, but we'll see. Bottom line, if you want to be a true MMA fan, don't get married. It really ruins things. If you want to guarantee that you don't miss cards, don't be in a relationship, don't get married, don't have a family. It doesn't work very well with MMA. MMA does not bend to your schedule. I'm missing the only good card of the year so far for a trip to visit my wife's sister. Yay. Okay, so we're going to open up with the early prelims on Fight Pass, and there's nothing on there worth noting at all. Marlon Vera taking on Frankie Saenz, I guess could be okay, but man, talk about a waste of money. I canceled my Fight Pass. I'll get it back if I ever need it, but I definitely won't need it for this card, to be honest. Okay, prelims on ESPN, regular ESPN. Starting off, we've got Diego Sanchez taking on Mickey Gall. Drinking cold brew as always. Mickey Gall called for this fight. I like seeing Sanchez face people that are more grapplers because I don't want to see him get knocked out. Sanchez is coming off a win. Gall is coming off a win too. I'm taking Gall to win this fight by unanimous decision. I think it'll be really boring. Not a big fan of Gall. I don't think that he's developing at a great rate. I'm not very impressed with his game. I think he'll just use his size and strength to out-grapple Diego Sanchez, but I don't think he'll be able to get a finish. Marcin Held couldn't submit Diego Sanchez. I don't think Gall will be able to. Maybe he will. We'll see. After that, we've got Cody Stamann taking on Alejandro Perez, who's coming up from flyweight. He's still coming off a knockout win over Jose Torres. And he's coming off that loss to Joseph Benavidez after the knockout of Jose Torres. One thing that strikes me out this guy is kind of like a James Vick type scenario, is that he doesn't take his diet seriously. He blows up between fights, and to me, if you care more about stuffing your face with food than maintaining a good body composition and performing at your best, then you should not be a professional athlete. I'm taking Cody Stamann to win this one by unanimous decision. I think Alejandro Perez just isn't going to have the strength or athleticism to contend with him in the grappling department, and I trust Cody Stamann's chin to hold up to anything Alejandro Perez throws his way. After that, we've got Johnny Walker coming in on short notice to take on Misha Cirkunov, and I'm taking Johnny Walker all the way on this one. And we got to back up and do a little odds, by the way. I've been moving way too fast. But Johnny Walker, I'm taking him to win by first round KO despite the short notice. Misha Cirkunov is very chinny. I don't trust his chin at all. So first off, that Diego Sanchez-Mickey Gall fight is at welterweight. And the odds on that one, if we can find any, there might not even be any odds on that. I do not see any odds for that fight at all, which is very... Oh, there they are. Diego Sanchez is plus 295 is the highest you can get him at as the underdog. Mickey Gall, is minus 400 would be the farthest favorite. If you wanted to bet, minus 336. Don't bet on that fight. Cody Stamann versus Alejandro Perez is a men's bantamweight fight. And the line on that one is Cody Stamann's the favorite, minus 166 if you want to place a bet. Alejandro Perez, the underdog, plus 144 if you like him to get the upset. And then Johnny Walker is actually a favorite despite the short notice, minus 132 if you want to place a bet. Misha Cirkunov, plus 118 would be the best odds to get him at. I'm taking Johnny Walker to get that first round knockout, as I just said. All right, and then the main event, or the main prelim on ESPN is Jeremy Stephens taking on Zabit Magomedsharipov. This should be a great fight. So this will be, I think Zabit just has the more variety. I'll cut to the chase. I'm taking Zabit to win a unanimous decision, but let's talk about why he's not going to get the finish. I don't think he'll be able to submit Jeremy Stephens, and part of why I think that is because Jeremy Stephens got tied up in a 15-minute grappling match in the octagon with Charles Oliveira and was not submitted by him. So I don't see Zabit getting the finish. And other than that Aldo body shot, Jeremy Stephens doesn't tend to get stopped, which is why I'm leaning towards, in this men's featherweight fight, I'm leaning towards Zabit. And I think he's going to take the unanimous decision. I would be curious to see what the odds are here. We've got, and I know I'm kind of blowing through these, but it's because I'm trying to get to the ones that I'm indecisive about so we can take some time on those. Jeremy Stephens is the underdog, plus 186. Zabit, minus 214 if you want to place a bet on him. Those are actually pretty decent odds. Like, that's actually far enough out that it would be worth placing a little bit on Stephens, but I just don't really see him having too much of a path to victory here. I don't think he'll be able to knock out Zabit. Now we're moving on to the main card, the pay-per-view, and I'm getting so depressed thinking about missing this card. We've got Cody No Love Garbrandt coming back after his 2 knockout losses to TJ Dillashaw to take on Pedro Munoz, and this is the first one that I'm completely undecided on. I was just noticed the headline, Paulo Costa, Kelvin Gastelum interim title fight, almost mine. I do not like that guy. I'm not a fan of Paulo Costa. That dude is juicing. I don't care what anyone says. Look at the old pictures of him and then look at him now. No one's body changes like that. You would literally have to be reborn with new genetics for your body to make that drastic of a transformation. This dude is on freaking performance-enhancing drugs. He's a cheat as far as I'm concerned. And he's also just a big brute with short T-Rex arms. Not impressed with his game at all. He's going to get walloped the first time he goes up against anybody who can just stand up to his pressure and bullying style. Not a fan of his. So Cody No Love, Pedro Munoz. Munoz is a dangerous opponent for Cody to come back against. Cody is still at Team Alpha Male, and I don't think he's going to improve very much. Here's my concern. Pedro Munoz is way bigger than Cody Garbrandt. He has that powerful calf kick, which we've never seen Cody have to deal with something like that. And he has a way better chin than Cody, and he might hit just as hard, or at least close to it. I'm really nervous about Cody Garbrandt coming into this fight. First off, if it goes to a decision, who are we favoring? Because those leg kicks from Pedro Munoz could add up, and Cody won't be able to out-grapple him because Pedro's way too dangerous on the ground. So if they're on the feet, those leg kicks are going to be adding up, and that can take away Cody's 4 or 5 well-placed calf kicks, can completely take away Cody No Love's knockout power for the rest of that fight. What if that happens? Then we've got Pedro Munoz stalking forward, attacking the body, attacking the legs, and looking to come upstairs for the finish. And we have Cody Garbrandt, who is very chinny in my opinion. He's been hurt in his 3 main fights. Dominic Cruz hurt him pretty bad. People forget that just because he didn't get dropped, but he got rattled for a second on the feed there. I'm going to have to go with Pedro Munoz to get this win. I'm taking Pedro. I know this will probably be an upset. I haven't looked at the odds yet. I'm taking Pedro. So here's my thought. Will he be able to get the knockout? The thing is that Cody Garbrandt is so aggressive and so determined to knock out his opponents that I do think that will lead him into a firefight. And if a lot of the reason why I'm not picking Cody's because I don't trust his chin, then I might go ahead and fully invest in this and say that Pedro gets the stoppage. I'm gonna say Pedro Munoz by KO in the second. KO, TKO. The body shots, the body kicks, the leg kicks, they're going to come into play with it, and then he's going to hurt Cody up top to the head, to the brain. All right, Cody Garbrandt, I'm guessing is the favorite. Let's find these odds. He's a pretty decent favorite. Minus 167 would be the best odds to place a bet. Pedro Munoz, plus 153 would be the best odds to place a bet. Plus 153, I like that. And if there was any props, maybe Pedro inside the distance, that would be worth betting on. Yeah, that should be a good one. I'm psyched for that fight. I'm excited for that fight. So yeah, I'm taking Pedro Munoz. All right, my next fight on this card is Tisha Torres versus Weili Zhang. I'm probably messing up her name. So here's the deal. I'm not going to make a pick for this fight because I don't recognize the names of 17 of the 19 opponents that Weili has had. So I just don't feel comfortable making a pick here. My guess is this is designed to be a bounce-back fight for Tisha Torres to get a win. Either that or they're... Actually, no, it's probably the opposite of that. It's probably them trying to put over this new young lady over Tisha. But I'm not making a pick there. All right, so then we have a welterweight fight. We've got Robbie Lawler. Actually, I'm curious to see what the odds are on that Tisha fight, just to see if she's favored or not. Yeah, she's the underdog. Okay, so yeah, they might be trying to put that other young lady over. Okay, so welterweight, we've got Robbie Lawler taking on Ben Askren. I'm going to need some cold brew for this one. This is a hard pick to make. I'm going to tell you all the reasons why. Robbie Lawler, in his fight against Rory McDonald, looked unstoppable with his takedown defense. But obviously that's not Ben Askren. But then RDA out-grapples Robbie Lawler. But was that because his knee was hurt? And how old has Robbie gotten at this point? And that's, Ben Askren's 34, Robbie Lawler's 36. They've got the same reach, the same height, essentially. Robbie's got a little bit longer of a reach. Ben Askren's never fought anyone as good as Robbie Lawler, but Robbie Lawler is also not in his prime anymore. I mean, this is going to go one of two ways. Ben Askren is either going to be able to take him down and drain him, but probably not get to finish, or Robbie Lawler's going to knock him out because he's going to be the best striker by far that Ben Askren's faced. My concern for Ben Askren is that each round starts on the feet. And I remember when me and my dad were going to watch the Conor McGregor versus Chad Mendes interim title fight. My dad asked me, what's Conor going to do about the wrestling? Who are you picking? This is way before I did my podcast, way before I knew everything I know now. This was back when I just, I was a fan, but I didn't really ever take the time to rewatch anything or try and understand it or educate myself. But even then, I told my dad, I said, well, every round starts on the feet. And the thing is that Chad Mendes, even if he takes Conor down and that round is gone, the next round, Conor has a chance at the beginning and the round after that. Now, keep in mind, this was before we knew that Conor has a suspect gas tank. And this was also, that's not even what ended up happening, because technically my analysis was wrong. Conor actually was able to get up and then knock out Chad in the same round, so it wasn't quite what I was thinking. But this applies to Robbie, because think about Robbie Lawler in the 5th round of the Johnny Hendricks fight. Just storming forward, the second Johnny Hendricks fight, storming forward and trying to kill Johnny Hendricks till the very last second. Think about the Carlos Condit fight. Is Ben Askren, if Robbie Lawler comes into this fight in full health, is Ben Askren really going to be able to control him and take him down during all the 3 rounds without getting hurt? It's a very, very hard call to make. I do think the saving grace is that Robbie Lawler has slowed down and is coming off an injury layoff, and Ben Askren does have a very good chin. So with that being said, I'm going to take Ben Askren. If you hear scribble, it's because I'm marking this down. I'm taking Ben Askren by unanimous decision. That's my pick for that fight. Whew, that's a hard pick to make. Okay. Man, yeah, I still don't know. I mean, I'm already second guessing it. I mean, has he ever fought anyone who's as vicious of a striker as Robbie Lawler? Robbie Lawler's a big underdog, plus 246, best odds for him. Ben Askren, big favorite, minus 270, the best odds to place a bet on him. Now we've got the co-main and the main event. We've got